Oh, we got a teaser for an upcoming Dokkan festival. And it is in fact going to be a Dokkan festival. Well, I don't want to say 100%, but 99% sure it's going to be Dokkan festival, because in the same slot from last year, we had a Dokkan festival, a monthly TUR, which was Mercenary Tau. Considering we are coming off of a 1.5 celebration sort of deal in this last month, I guess there could be a chance that this could be like a part 2, but I don't think so. I think we're just resetting, going back to the Dokkan Festival part 1 and then Yellow Coin part 2. Now, the thing about this, before we can start venturing some guesses here, in terms of what it could be, I think it's worth mentioning that it could also end up being an LR besides the possibility of a TUR, simply because we've had now 2 instances during this year where a typical, well, not, I don't want to say typical, but an LR showed up when it wasn't expected. The Xenoverse crossover, which doesn't have much precedent, so I guess that's sort of an anomaly. But then also Saiyan Day, we upgraded the TUR into an LR. And so that matters, especially considering one of the guesses that we're going to be discussing in this video. An LR for that guess could be unprecedented. So let's go ahead and start guessing, because this is all that we've been given. It is a cliff, and whoops, that's about it. Blue skies here, so this is very much Earth. There are some rocks and rubble or whatever here. And then there's some green grass up at the top. Now that green grass matters because that does actually narrow down the choices if we were to be extremely particular about our guesses. I'm going to start with what I think are probably the more likely guesses. I personally only have 2 or 3. And then we're going to do the usual, and we're going to go over a couple of guesses that are a little bit more reachy. Let's start with the biggest and most likely guess. No, it's not Mufasa. I unironically actually think it's going to be Kid Buu. And that's where the LR portion of the conversation comes in, because there is a chance that the meme could end in the next few days, and we could be looking at an LR Kid Buu. They are pointing at a cliffside, and the cliff was very much a point of interest when Kid Buu first emerged. I can't play the video fully because I'll definitely get copyright claimed, but when Super Buu was like degrading, like mentally degrading, and he became Kid Buu, he was standing on this cliffside, and it was a very slow pan from top to bottom, kind of just, you know, we're sizing up the new form of Buu. Pretty scary, but there's like multiple shots of the cliff showing different angles of Kid Buu. Now, I don't know if that necessarily means anything, but I just can't shake this feeling that that's what this is. This could be sort of like a shot of what the intro animation could look like. That's just my take. So I actually am on board for it being Kid Buu. Now, obviously, a lot of people have wanted an LR Kid Buu. So if it is, I think people would be very happy. I personally would be sad only from the sense that the meme would die, because I have found it to be absolutely hilarious that for whatever reason, they have disrespected the biggest and baddest boss of Dragon Ball Z by never giving him an LR. And the longer it goes, the funnier it gets to me. But if that ends, I mean, hey, as long as he's good and people are happy, it's fine. So I honestly think it's Kid Buu. There are several shots that sort of support that. It's the earth, you know, it's the green grass, the manga. I mean, yeah. So the orientation of the cliff, I don't think that specifically matters. Like, there's no specific shot of the cliff in the anime, I don't think, where you can see sort of like a face, like the shapes of the rocks and the edges kind of look like a face. Somebody pointed this out and I can't unsee it. These are the lips. That's the nose. This is an eye. That's another eye. I don't think that matters. I think it's just the point is earth, sky, cliff, grass. So Kid Buu is my #1 guess. Now, after that, my second most likely guess is actually in the Android Cell Saga. And it's kind of around where the Android 19 Dr. Gero thing happened. After Vegeta kicked Android 19's butt, and then Dr. Gero was on the run. You know, around that time, and also when the androids were first attacking, there was this cliffside shot where they're all kind of talking and planning out what they're going to be doing. But then also, I don't have a screenshot of it because I couldn't find the specific episode, but Android 19, oh, do I not have it at all? Oh man, I don't think I have a single shot of it. Wait. Okay, I'm just gonna have to try to explain it. It's like when Dr. Gero is running to his like secret cave, and he's trying to unlock 17 and 18, and these guys have to find him before that happens. And so there's a ton of cliffs in that area. I don't know necessarily if there's too much grass. It might just be like in a wasteland area, but I'm not sure. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like sometime early Android Saga, I feel like is another possibility. Considering the year that it's been, with how many Vegetas we've had, Majin Buu Saga Vegeta, Namek or Saiyan Saga Vegeta, Xenoverse Vegeta. If we were to get an Android Saga Vegeta, I mean, I think that would be pretty fitting, right? It would just give us another Vegeta to mess around with. Would it be a Super Saiyan Vegeta? I mean, we already had... Maybe it'll be like a Super Saiyan Vegeta into a Super Vegeta? I don't know. It's less likely. It's not as clear-cut to me as this is. But that is worth mentioning. And then the other one I think a lot of people were thinking about is the Saiyan Saga when Piccolo is chucking Gohan into the cliff and he bursts his way right through. There's another shot where he's kind of just chilling on his own. A lot of grassy cliffside areas and it's on Earth. The fact that it's Earth narrows it down quite a bit. So those are, I think, probably the three best guesses out there. Let me know in the comments which one do you think is the most likely out of those three, or maybe there's another one that I'm not even thinking about. But to me, it's Kid Buu. I'm just gonna prepare for it being Kid Buu. If it is Kid Buu, Majin Buu Saga has been given some nice upgrades during the year, because we had Majin Vegeta, we had the free-to-play Babidi Super Easy, we had Dabura, Yakon, we had Poopy, like a lot of nice upgrades for Majin Buu Saga. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they decide to ultimately give us the EZA for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Fat Buu, the Golden Week characters, especially since one of them just got the alternate art stuff. Maybe they decide to do an EZA for it. Could kind of line up that way. Now let's go through some reaches. I don't have too many for this one, but let me just start by saying, if we're talking cliffs, there's always a possibility we don't hold this too on the nose, and we don't say that this is necessarily indicative of Earth. It could just be a place with a cliff. If it's a place with a cliff, Namek Saga and anything in Namek Saga would work. Anything. Obviously, Zarbon is number one because he's quite literally the best character ever made. Frieza, when Frieza first engages with the Z Fighters, right? The grass is not green and the sky is not blue. So that, I mean, in fact, they're opposite. So normally I would say, yeah, that kind of deconfirms, but hey, we're reaching here. We're kind of doubling up here. I don't really have, I mean, those are kind of my own reaches. Then I got a couple more recommendations from the Discord. Cooler. I mean, he did fight on Earth, right? A lot of grass and stuff around. So this actually could work. I don't know if that specific shot would necessarily be significant for Cooler unless this is like where Goku gets smashed. But as you can see in that shot here, there's no grass above it. So could be Cooler, I guess. I mean, Cooler's accompanying celebration characters could use some EZAs, the worldwide characters from 2022. So that would be nice. And while on the subject of Cooler, Meta Cooler, although this is back on Namek Saga. So again, if we take the environment a little bit more loosely and we just take it as a cliff, but we open it up to any place that features a cliff, could be this. And this also again lines up with the Cooler theory. Both kind of work in terms of a chronological sense, since they're both, you know, it's been a little while. Back to Android Saga. I don't know if this necessarily works. Maybe not necessarily this shot, but maybe the cliff where the Z Fighters were hanging out when Gohan started fighting Cell, was that grassy? Because they weren't standing right on the ground of the Cell ring. They all moved back, right? Could that potentially be it? More reaches. I do like this though. And then of course, y'all know what we got to do. We got to make this about Tournament of Power. How can Toon make this about Tournament of Power? Well, you know what? I actually have a good one, so don't hate me too much for this one. But what if we get a Universe 7 Gohan and or Piccolo pre-Tournament of Power when they started training? They were training among the wherever the hell this is, but it's on Earth with all the cliffs and everything. They even like showed him like meditating in his tracksuit. It'll never be the tracksuit, but I mean, this is a shot from Limit Break Survivor. Maybe it's the... Actually, hold on. Okay, no, I don't know why I thought this at all looked like that, but you never know. Maybe it's an intro animation and it shows Gohan in a tracksuit. I don't know, and it becomes an amalgam of like Resurrection F, you know, puny Gohan plus the Gohan that started training and sparring with Piccolo pre-Tournament of Power. I don't know. It's possible. If it's on Earth, it's got a chance. Anything that's happened on Earth, I think is ultimately what it's going to be. No Namek. I just had to do, you know, my usual thing. If it's Zarbon, I'll be happy. If it's Tournament of Power, I'll be happy. but I think it's going to be Kid Buu. I really do. But you know what? How many times have I said I'm confident it's going to be something and then ended up not being that? Right? So I might have just ruined Kid Buu for all you guys. You know what? You're welcome. That's all I got. There's no other news in game. All I can say is that the celebration is going to be ending around the 28th for Plastic Week. So the banner for whatever this is will be dropping the 28th night. So 4 days from now. And that will be our monthly Dokkan Festival with a part 2 soon after. And then we move on to the new Tanabata celebration. Recently, I did a video talking about the stone counts towards GDC, but I also did a stone count leading up to new Tanabata. Whether or not you care about this versus GDC, it should still remain the same that this is the next biggest celebration after GDC. So if there is a celebration to skip, it would be this and it would be this, because new Tanabata is just around the corner and you're going to need all the stones that you can get if you're trying to indulge both in that celebration and to save for bigger and better things moving on. So keep your expectations low. Don't let yourself get too hype. In fact, if anything, try to capture, internalize this feeling that we've had right now during this Plastic Week celebration. I know that's kind of ruining the hype a little bit, but in terms of stone conservation, it might actually be better for you. Try not to let the hype seep in. Just stay bored, you know? Don't actually like give in. Because I will say, if you have to choose between this or this or this, I'm gonna say go this. Don't do this. All right, just don't. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on what that hint could be. The cliffside, could it be Kid Buu? Could it be something else? Do you have, give me your serious choice. Like, who do you actually unironically think it is? And then give me a reach choice. So Zarbon for me, right? Or Universe 7, Gohan. And then give me like an insanely stupid pick. Anything, whatever you want. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let you know when I see more myself do it. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned and don't forget to Dokkan responsibly.